thanks to the supporters of channel member David Carter. Oh, boys and girls. Remember in the summer when we sold Gomez for £13 million? Before you go any further, pause the video. Let me know how much you think I've just sold Soma for. Anyone who gets it exactly right has cheated. There's no way you'll guess correctly. And in other news, Kev checks calendar quickly. 3 more days left if you want to buy a Bourne shirt. Link is down in the description. You'll never be able to get one again. Now is the time to get your Cerna Jackie 16 shirt. Hello and welcome to part 162 of Bourne Again. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our final Champions League group game away against Marseille, and we're also away against Manchester United in the Premier League. Since you were last with me, we've been in quite good form. Defeat against Watford aside, and I guess defeat against West Ham aside, looking at those two results, good form. Well, yeah, because we're top of the Premier League, so it couldn't have been that bad. And we're top of the Premier League, 2 points clear. Domenico is top scorer in the division as well, joint with some fella from Chelsea. Christian Gomez, we're going to continue doing Gomez Watch all season. He's joint 7th at the moment with 5 goals compared to Domenico's 12. I'm saying nothing. Also, reminder, we sold Gomez for 13 million. For that. Did anyone guess right with Soma? You didn't. None of you guessed right. We've agreed to sell Soma for £70 million. He will be the biggest sale in the history of the club. After Guangzhou Evergrande in China, £70 million. He leaves in January, which means I've got £93 million to spend in January. I might not spend it. I might just leave a £150, £200 million balance for whoever comes in next to actually be able to sort of rebuild the team in his own image. I've very much trimmed off all of the deadwood from this squad. We've got a pretty tight 18, 19 man squad of the majority world-class players or wonder kids now, and there'll be money to spend with excellent facilities. In fact, is there any facilities we can look to upgrade? Let's try and improve the training facilities. I mean, they're not good enough, Samik, are they? Because we want to be the best. We've just won the Champions League. I've persuaded. Excellent. Anything else? No, we're just going to keep... I want to leave this club in the best possible shape so that when we do a 5 years in the future... £4.9 million we're spending on that. Should be completed by sort of within the next 10 months. So it won't actually be completed when I leave, but we've currently got superb training facilities. So presumably that's going to put us up to state-of-the-art training facilities to go with our state-of-the-art data analysis and state-of-the-art youth facilities. I don't know if there's a way to upgrade corporate facilities. There probably isn't, but along with our exceptional academy coaching and exceptional youth recruitment and the nice new stadium, Bourne is set up to dominate the world for years to come, and I love it. Right, let's talk of dominating the world. Let's try and win our Champions League group. We're already qualified, if you remember from last episode, but Marseille have just been the surprise package of the tournament so far. I need to investigate how they've been as good as they are. They haven't won Ligue 1 at any point during this save, so why on earth are they so good? There doesn't seem to be a tycoon takeover. Did they spend an enormous amount of money in the summer? They spent £14 million in the summer, a net spend of £1.75 million. Have they got a fancy manager? The managers, Bernard Fournier, who's been there over 4 years. So there's no reason why he should suddenly get really good now, but he has. Marseille have just they're having a nice time in the Champions League this season. But we want to spoil it for them. We want to finish top of the group. Finishing top of the group is beneficial for the draw for the next round. And we lost against Marseille earlier on, which is why we were a little bit panicky about this group until Real Madrid just showed themselves to be utterly useless. So Marseille have already beaten us at our place. We need to beat them at theirs just to re-establish the correct order of things. And this is the team we're sending over there to try and get that job done. We've got Mendoza in goal, a back four of Giladucci, Da Silva, Nixon, Burke and Arango. Addo at the base of the midfield, Steinman and Labinkovic ahead of him, and then Soma as a Raumdeuter on the left, Cerna Jackie on the right, and Domenico up front. Lee Cook is the latest in a long line of players off on his holiday. That's the problem with having such a small squad. I'm not able to rotate very much. Diaz is currently injured, which is why Nixon Burke continues his extended run in the team. Jasper slowly but surely recovering from his injury. He might actually return to action at some point between now and the next episode. I don't know if he'll be the same player he was before he did his cruciate ligaments, because he is very young to be having such a serious injury, and it is likely to have a pretty severe effect on his development. At 23 years old, he was a 5-star potential player before, now potentially as low as a 3.5-star potential. But we'll have to see what happens when these physicals return, if they return. If you remember when Jackie had his 2 back-to-back big injuries, his physicals dropped off massively and then built back up again over the subsequent couple of years. But Jackie's not 5'4" and 10.5 stone, unlike this guy. So I feel like his physical attributes might have already been a little bit not quite there, because he's a little fella and not going to be big and strong like Jackie. Jackie is 6'1", only the 2 stone heavier, but with 6'1" with 20 agility. What a monster. And 18 pace. He's so good. Right, let's get into this game. Let's try and beat Marseille. We want to finish top of our group. I'm really interested to see where things have gone wrong for Real Madrid this year as well. I guess it's not my problem, but it is fascinating to see the fall off from them, because they gave us a good challenge. Was it in the semi-final we played Real Madrid last year, or were they the quarter-final? And then Atletico may have been the semi-final. But either way, it wasn't plain sailing getting past Real Madrid in last year's tournament. But this year, both us and Marseille have just dominated them. Their only win coming against Anderlecht, who, bless them, aren't really good enough for this tournament. Right, Guiladucci with a throw, 17 minutes on the clock. He's thrown it forward to Soma, who finds Addo. Steinman, ball over the top for Domenico, hits it first time and scores a 21st goal of the season now for Domenico, who has been, I don't think shortlisted is the right word. He's being very heavily linked with the Ballon d'Or. Jackie, weirdly, not being mentioned at all, but Domenico is one of 3 or 4 names that keeps being mentioned on the inbox messages about the Ballon d'Or. As England manager, having to vote for my World Player of the Year, Domenico was on the list I could vote for. Jackie wasn't. So obviously my vote as England manager, 5 points to Domenico. So there's a chance Domenico could be considered the best player in the world, which really does put into context how much of a steal he was to pick up on a free transfer. And I still don't know why nobody else was in for him. A big kudos to our scouting network for being aware of him and knowing how good he was going to be and convincing me to just throw all the money at him the way we did, because he was handed a big contract, which probably is the reason why nobody else got him, because we threw so much money his way. But I don't remember there being anyone else in for him at the time. I think I was just wanting to get the deal done as quickly as possible. So just agreed to his terms without even trying to negotiate. Jackie, now on one of his long mazy runs, plays it off to Guiladucci, and then he's going to set himself up ready to get on the end of this cross, I think. Soma crosses to Domenico. Jackie's lurking behind him, but there's a new sheriff in town, boys and girls, and his name is Domenico, and that's his 22nd goal of the season. It's early December. This man, he's another one of the bargains from this save. He goes in the same category as Jackie for 6 million, Gomez for 4.7 million, Lahif on a free, Domenico on a free. We have picked up some bargains on this save. We talk about it on stream from time to time, which if you're not watching the streams, you should. I stream on Twitch 4 nights a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. UK time. We're following a similar trajectory with home over there on stream. We are in the Premier League now, but we're struggling. And it's because we haven't stumbled across a Jackie and a Gomez in our first season the way we did with Bourne. We're having to do building a small team up in the Premier League the hard way. And it's fascinating how unique this Bourne save has been compared to all the Road to Glories I've done in the past, because of how good. I mean, the scouts just did an incredible job. Well played, the scouts. You shortened the series by about 3 months, I guess. Certainly, I think we've shortened the series by maybe 4 or 5 seasons with the signing of those 2 players, Jackie in particular, but Gomez as well. And now Domenico has taken us from good Premier League team to Champions League winners. But that Jackie signing, it knocked at least 4 years off the save, I think. I've never gone from newly promoted Champions League champions this quickly, ever. His fault. So if you wish the series wasn't ending yet, maybe don't get a Cerner Jackie 16 shirt. Get a Soma 10 shirt. Because if we'd have had a team full of Somas, we wouldn't have won the Champions League yet. So maybe you should have liked him all along if you were enjoying the series. Right. We have conceded a goal now. It's 2-1. And I'd quite like us to grab a third before half-time just to calm us down a little bit. Domenico chasing down the goalkeeper. He wants the third. He scored a hat-trick relatively recently. I think he's got a little bit of a taste for it now. But Marseille are the ones who are building an attack, although Gilarducci in with the tackle there, making them start again. But start again they do, but that's some lovely defending, I think, from Nixon Burke, which, I mean, Nixon Burke is in the form of his life. He's never had this kind of run of games before. He's very much benefiting from it. He's playing very well. Nixon Burke might be saving his Bourne future with this run of games that he's played in the first half of this season, because certainly with the new guy coming in next summer in a big money deal, there were a lot of question marks, and luckily they're questions I'm not going to have to answer because I won't be here, but a lot of questions over what that means for Nixon Burke. And the way he's playing at the moment, I think the England manager's got his eye on him, and if he's an England international, he didn't do very well there, Diaz might be watching his back when the new guy comes in, because Diaz, I think, is the oldest of the four that we'll have, and De Silva is a club legend. Nixon Burke's English, and the new guy, Dedic, is that his name? Is going to cost £80 million, so he needs to play. So the odd one out seems to be Diaz, who just so happens to be the one not in the team at the moment as well. Right. I am going to get aggressive, actually, because we started well, and then to throw away a 2-goal lead is inexcusable, really, in a Champions League game. So we need to put a rocket up their backsides and re-win the game. We'd already done our bit. Domenico grabs his 2 goals. Job done, really. It's over to you, defence. And then we've just let Marseille back into it, and it's sloppy. And we're not going to win the Champions League again if we're that sloppy. Addo plays it back to De Silva, who knocks it all the way back to Mendoza, who in turn finds Nixon Burke, plays it out to Arango. It's some nice possession play, but you know my thoughts on possession in our own half. It's basically worthless. But Arango actually getting some direct running going, finds Cerner Jackie. Steinman's there, and the effort from range from Steinman goes just wide of the post, and that's a little bit more like it. We took our time, picked our spot, but then when we did move forward, we did it with real urgency, and probably deserved a better finish than we got from Steinman. He wasn't really the man we wanted on the end of that. But Cerner Jackie now has a free kick in a dangerous position, and I thought that had gone in because we got the substitution thing flash up. I was convinced he'd scored, but apparently not. Oh, now the opposition fans are laughing at me. Right, we're going to bring Agostino on. I've kind of given up with the idea of Brazeno as a midfielder. We've been playing him there for a year and a half. He's not getting any better at it. And with Soma leaving, Brazeno can just be a striker. Sebastião and Brazeno can be my 2 backup strikers behind Domenico, and with Sebastião also covering out on the wings. And young Agostino, who's also a striker, he's the one who I'm now pushing in the Mezzala role to see if he can maybe step into that position. So he's been playing there the last 3 or 4 matches. I guess a good manager signs a midfield player. But I've got too many strikers. I need to justify having them all. So I'm determined to convert somebody into a midfielder before this save ends. So Agostino may be the man who ends up playing there long term. I need a new James Burgess. If you don't know who James Burgess is, go occupy yourself in the back catalogue. You'll love him. He was a hero. England captain. Right, Calderon comes on for Cerner Jackie for the end of this game. I would like some passion because I would like a win. I mean, the only reason I showed you this game was to see us finishing top of the group. And as it is, we put out a full-strength team. And over 2 matches, we've lost to Marseille. They beat us 1-0 at our place. We've only managed a 2-2 away at theirs. If this had been a knockout tie, we've just been knocked out by Marseille, who finished above us in the group, meaning that we've got a potentially tricky first-round tie coming up now, which isn't really... Well, it certainly wasn't the plan for this season. Right. I think we've got that knockout round draw, then Manchester United. It might be the other way around. Well, there seems to be no sign of the Champions League draw. So it will just have to be a surprise tomorrow when we play in our first round match. And we are now playing against a 12th placed Manchester United, who've been contenders again for the last few years. I feel like There might be a sacking coming up. Thomas Tuchel's only been there 179 days. I feel like if we beat them at their place, that might be it for him. So I do like getting a manager sacked. Let's go and get that job done. No changes to the team. Let's see how we get on. We do need a new left winger, I've realised, because Soma's on his way out and he's kind of been our backup for Cook. And with Cook still on his holiday, the only other option really would be to put Domenico out onto the left wing and play Brezzano or Sebastião up front. So I think with this £93 million transfer budget I've got, we might just do a sneaky little backup left winger. But I suppose we've got Jasper coming back. What am I even thinking? Jasper's going to be back in a month, hopefully. So we don't need that at all. By the time Soma leaves, Jasper's going to be on the cusp. On the cusper. Jasper on the cut. Lovely. I mean, that's good. I'm wearing the wrong shirt. I mean, one moment. We've got to fix this problem. I mean, it's no wonder Cerner Jackie missed that chance. Me sat around in the wrong shirt. He must have thought I'd lost all faith in him. I'm very sorry, Samita. I am now colour coordinated with you. Let's go on and win this game. Although the blue shirt has been described as the unlucky shirt in the past. I haven't actually run the statistics about which shirt is most lucky. I do know I hardly ever wear the white one, which is unfortunate because the white one's my favourite one. Arango with the opportunity, but it's a shot that's saved by the Manchester United keeper. It flies out for a corner. And Cerner Jackie's going to go across to take that. He's not even looking. Doesn't need to look. He knows where De Silva's standing by now. But the shot it's a header. It still counts as a shot. High and wide from De Silva. And now United come up the other end and hit a crossbar from a corner of their own. Hit a crossbar. It was the crossbar. There wasn't multiple crossbars for them to choose from. They hit the crossbar. But it's still a little bit too close for comfort. And I'd be feeling much happier about getting this guy sacked if we were winning the game by now. We've been the better team. Keep doing what you're doing. We'll be fine. I mean, I'm talking really about the season as a whole. We've not been any better than them today, but over the course of the season, we're first, they're 12th. We are the better team. Soma not anywhere near getting on the end of that the way Cerner Jackie does when they come in off the other wing. This is going to be the last time you ever see Ricardo Soma play a game of football. So I'd like you all to leave your comments down below, wishing him well on his new life in China, telling him how much you rate him, how much you value him, how much you're glad he came in, forced Gomez out of the club, and then never broke into the team as a regular starter himself. Let me know what you really think. Don't hold back like you usually do. Let me know what you really think about Ricardo Soma. Should we go and sign Gomez back as his replacement? Right, Arango. On the right-hand side, cross-ish, ends up with Bonilla, Addo to Soma, Domenico, and that's his 23rd of the season. Domenico is good at doing a football. 23 goals by Christmas, by well before Christmas. He could be pushing 30 goals by the turn of the year, the form he's in at the moment. And this was a stunner as well. Soma just rolls it into his path. He wasn't even looking in the right direction, just doesn't even take a touch. Just turns, hits it really hard, and puts us 1-0 up against Manchester United. And the sack is looming for their manager as they take a throw deep in fact, it wasn't deep in their own half. It was in our half, but they've gone back the wrong way. I think they've forgotten which way the goal is, which seems a little bit careless. Manchester United at Old Trafford can't remember where the goal is. They're now, I mean, our defence isn't really closing down the way I would normally like us to here. And we brought that on ourselves with some very strange static defending where we had like 7 players stood in a row, none of them really stepping up and trying to close down this guy. It's like we're all afraid of him. Same there. We're not trying to stop these players have the ball. We are still supposed to be pressing as part of a vertical tiki-taka, I think. I've not turned that off, have I? Out of possession. Yeah, there you go. That's when possession has been lost, counter press. We'll ask the players to immediately apply pressure after losing possession in hope of recovering the ball as quickly as possible. So we are supposed to be pressing, but we're not. And it just cost us a goal. Very sad. Let's get creative. We probably need to take Soma off so he can get a standing ovation in his last appearance. Calderon can come on and play on this left-hand side for the rest of today. We're also going to take off Cerner Jackie, who's not having a very good game. And Sebastião can then become the Raumdeuter over here. So we'll drop Calderon back on a support instruction, swap these two over, and we're just mixing everything around to put the attacking guy on the other side. In actual fact, we still, because he's still an inside forward, we still want him over here. Ignore me. That's better. That's how we want it. Should we just make our third change now? Bring Lubinkovic on. Actually, you know what? Maybe I haven't completely given up. Brazeno can come on and play in there. I still have hopes that he'll become a midfielder. Maybe. And it's Manchester United with the corner. It's a big far post looping effort. And thankfully, the header is a poor one. We are going to demand more because I don't think a draw is... Oh, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Because if Domenico's got a proper injury, Soma's now been sold, we might genuinely have to go and bring back Christian Gomez in January because it's a lot of pressure on Brazeno and Sebastião if Domenico's got a big boy injury. That could really throw a spanner in the works for this final season if we don't have a striker or a proven striker. Anyway, I mean, it could be the making of Brazeno. This could be his moment. In the circumstances, happy with the draw. Don't really care about the result anymore. Want to see what's happened to Domenico. Please don't be a big injury. Please don't be a big injury. Okay. 3 weeks. I can live with 3 weeks. A pulled calf muscle. You panicked me there, Domenico. Goodness me. You won't have 30 goals by Christmas, will he? But PSG are now. Of course PSG are after him. Of course they are. Right. We'll be back tomorrow as ever. And we're just going to charge through a whole load of games now and come back probably for Manchester United again and the first round of the Champions League knockout rounds. And we'll just focus on the Champions League for the rest of the year, check in on the league here and there as we try and win a second Premier League title. But it's really all about trying to retain the Champions League and getting ourselves ready for the FIFA World Club Cup, which is going to be the finale of our time at Bourne. Probably about this time next week would be my guess. But I can't plan it in that much detail because it depends on the Champions League run. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.